How's it going? Something a bit different today. We're going to be doing a hand-drawn logo on the page here. So the camera is pointing down towards the camera. I don't have like a double camera set up yet, so you'll have to miss my face this time around. But yeah, I got a commission just come in now, so I'm going to show you my new quick blast out hand-drawn brutal type logo styles, a la this sort of thing that's been popular recently. These are the ones that I've been making at the moment, sort of like super fast but like mega gnarly style, and they've been mega popular. Really happy with how they're coming out. So the one that came in today is called Grave Dancer, which I'm pretty sure is going to fit really sick in this style. I would usually use this big fat Posca for the main bit, and then this little one to do the spiky bits, but this huge fat duty takes so long to dry because it's like a paint marker. It takes forever to dry, so I don't want to literally have a stream of watching paint dry. So we're going to drag out the old Cure colors. So this is the black Cure color. It's got a chisel tip on one end and a thin tip on the other end, so we should be able to use the one pen for the whole dealio. And yeah, I think I have an idea in my head of how I want it to go, so I'm just gonna blast it out. This is kind of like, it's not like a full design logo service like I would usually have. I've just put these ones in to kind of do quickly fill gaps in my schedule and things like that, and it means that, you know, people who aren't as fussed about having a hugely designed black metal logo or whatever can get something a bit quicker. So let's see how this comes together with the chisel tip. Try to keep the lines kind of like flowing in the same directions. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. And then with my other one, I will add in some spiky details that I like to add into these quick ones. Sort of like gives it some speed and dynamism. If you just have some nice spikiness coming off. Not too much, because I don't want to take away from like the movement of the text. But just enough for there to be some smaller, interesting elements there. It's nice to have, when you're designing stuff, it's nice to have bigger elements and thinner elements all in one go and one kind of place, and it adds that visual difference that I've talked about in videos before, which I quite like and think is important to have in a design. So I've got my tracing paper here, basically my second Photoshop layer. And then we go over with the, oh, I'm turning it around, but it's actually the right way around. It's the Pigma Microns, the big boys in the world of fine liners. So for this sort of fine detail bit, let's see if I can zoom in a bit on this page, or whether that just completely fucking ruins everything. How does that sound? Look, even. Yeah, I reckon that's gonna work. And then, yeah, from here we just kind of like, oh, my hand is kind of covering it up, but you'll be able to see as we go along. So it's just kind of like automatic, kind of letting it kind of flow. It's hand style, but it does get cleaned up on the computer afterwards. So if there's some bits that come out like not mega clean, it's not the end of the world. These fine liners are starting to show their age a bit. I think they're getting a bit long in the tooth, so they keep on sort of dropping in and out like that. But we can fix all that up later. I'm thinking, so after I've finished the hand-drawn portion of these, I scan them in, and I should be able to flip to that as well. I think I should. I won't be able to show the face cam, so you're spared my mug for this stream, but I think the digital portion of this logo design should still be a goer. So you can see I'm just really kind of just going with the flow on these, like just letting muscle memory kind of move through the shapes, not thinking about it too much. It's kind of automatic, like in the world of drawing you would call it automatic drawing, where you just kind of let your hand kind of take the wheel a bit. That's what these logos are meant to capture, so they're nice and quick. So I'm going to have to finish that bit off, just we can. Yeah, and by doing them quick, you kind of keep that feel of the movement in the logo. I'm gonna join that there. I think it's gonna be mad if I don't. You see that piece has all sort of become all conjoined in there, but that's cool. I think by being not too precious about it, it kind of gives it that immediate and, like I said, like movement, energy, that kind of energetic vibe to it, where you feel the same when you do like quick sketches and stuff, and then if you go and try and like work into it, you work back into the quick sketch and you kind of like overwork it, and you lose the feeling that the initial quick sketch had. If you do any kind of drawing, you'll know what I mean. It's that kind of vibe is what I mean. So by not taking too long with it, you keep it lively. And of course, practice helps. Like the more you do it, the more you know how to like adjust things on the fly. Like this letter in here got really thin when I was doing it, because it's like the chisel tip is like, depending on the angle you hold it, it's thicker or thinner, and in some areas that's cool, but for the E I would rather it's the same width as the rest of the letters, so you kind of know to, as you're going over it, to thicken it up a bit. That's just stuff that comes with time and practice, and all things will come to you in time. Anything you want to, as Bob Ross said. Talent is a pursued interest. Anything that you're willing to practice, you can do. And I strongly, strongly believe that to be the case. When I was younger, like, it was always me playing catch up. Always, I'm just gonna go back in here and neaten up a few bits. But yeah, when I was younger, it was always me playing catch up. Like, I was the kid who wasn't too good in school and wasn't too good at art. Well, not as good as I wanted to be. And like, to some people, it just seemed to come so naturally. There was always someone in the class, whatever the class was, that was like, I was trying my hardest, but they would just seem to be like effortlessly better. And I guess that's kind of what people refer to as like natural talent, where it's just kind of like come to you. But then what I've managed to do over the years, just keeping on grinding, is build up talent in the things that I care about: guitar playing, art, and design. So I reckon anything that you want to be good at, you can be good at. So this is now going to go in the scanner, and we're going to see if we can get the digital phase of this working. Let's have a look. Let's bring in the digital. So if I click this, well, hey, here we have it. Right, we've got our blank document here. I'm going to scan this in. Doesn't take long. And then we're going to pull it up into Photoshop. Then we work on it in Illustrator. We do a bit of live trace, and it will re-put the vector version in here. So here we have, it's cut off the end there, but we can draw that back in. Let's, for the sake of speed, so let's crush the levels, so we've got a nice dark outline to work with. Let's grab this, and I think we can get away with here just grabbing a hard edge brush. It's just the very tip that should look okay after we've done all that we need to do with it. Grab a white brush as well and just try and get rid of some of these marks around it. I think the marks are actually on my scanner. Like, they come, well, some of the ones I'm clicking here are actually on my screen. It's my screen that's filthy, so you can probably see me on the stream clicking on marks that aren't even there. But they're there for me, I promise. I'm not hallucinating yet. And then this here got pretty messy, so I just want to clean this up a touch. There we go. So let's see if we can select the inside of this, or whether it's too Oh yeah, there we go. And there's no bits inside. So yeah, we've got the inside of our shape selected. So then we'll go select, modify, expand. Just expand it by a couple of pixels. And in a layer above, we'll fill that with black. And hit multiply over the top there. Let me just quickly, I might have done this on the wrong layer or something, but let me just quickly zhuzh that in as well. Yeah, and then just neaten up any other little bits you think might need it. Obviously some of this can be straightened out when we live trace it in Illustrator. But yeah, this is basically how I process my scanned logos. And then, yeah, if you've watched any of my stuff before, you know how I treat things in Illustrator as well. So I will save this down. Grave Dancer. That E there is still, it's not quite as thick as the rest, is it? Let's see if we can't magic that a bit thicker. If we there you go. And yeah, that's what I was thinking. The last bit in that. And let's crop this down, save it, and chuck it into Illustrator. Let's just put that on the desktop for now, whilst we're working Speedy Gonzalez style. Close that and head over to Illustrator. So we're going to place that image that we just made into our Illustrator, and we're going to hit Image Trace. And in our settings, under Advanced, we ignore white, so it just gives us a black shape. The threshold up, but it was pretty leveled anyway. So path high, corners high, less, so that it gives us nice curvy edges. Less on that. Oh, yeah, a little bit. And then once it's expanded, you can object path, offset path. And do it like a minus 0.2. Let's try that. And then you'll see that in comparison to this one with all the curvy corners, we get much sharper corners there. You need to be careful about losing detail when you do that, but if you're just looking for the sharper corners on your spikes and stuff, then that should be enough. Back into Photoshop we go, and chuck that in there. And then over the top of this, we will bomb a tasty texture. I don't know whether for this one we want a bit of an inside stroke on there. So you set that to the inside, and you can just use that to keep the edge of the text crispy if you need to. You see in there, when you mess with the stroke, it's like the edge of the text goes in and out, and you can just use that to have texture on your lettering, but not have it break the edge. But it depends what kind of look you're going for. I think I want a stroke, and I think I want it slightly thicker. Grave Dancer. What color is a Grave Dancer? It's bringing to mind like that monster truck. What's that called? Grave Digger. I think the monster truck is called, isn't it? He's like purple and green. Could go for like a kind of a flat like grape purple. I like that. And yeah, there we go. That is 20-minute logo. Blasted out and ready to send. It's yeah, like I said, the new style that I'm just trialing. They seem quite popular so far. Just it's a cheaper service, but I just blast them out and there's no revisions or anything like that. So it works for me to fit stuff into my diary, and it works for customers who don't want to spring for a fully designed logo and aren't as precious about exactly how it looks. They just want something that looks rad so they can slap it on their band merch. This is a brand new project that just started up between two mates, so they don't want to spring for anything mega expensive right now. So they just wanted something quick that looks cool, and there it is. It might have a few more tweaks before it goes out, but for now, I'm mega happy with that. Yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers. Same time next week. I hope you have a good one. Peace.